Hey friends, welcome to my bedroom and slash office. Today I'm going to talk to you about at least 5 to 6 things that you can get rid of right now from your rooms in your house to make your life a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, and hopefully more fun. All right guys, my name is Becky Truda, and if you haven't been here before, I like to talk about minimizing and decluttering on my channel, Minimal Ease. So let's hop into the hotspot area of where I started when I first started about 4 years ago, decluttering and minimizing my life, and that is my bedroom. That's where I am right now. So first thing that was the biggest thing that made the biggest difference was when I got rid of excess furniture in my room and simplified the furniture that I actually had. So when I first started, I don't think I have a picture of this, but I used to have this huge black dresser with, the big mirror, like the huge ones that a lot of people have. So I had one of those and it was stuffed full of clothes. And when I finally decided to really focus on decluttering my clothes, I was finally able to actually get rid of that. My husband made us this beautiful closet with shelves so that I could hang and put more things in there. So I got rid of that, and I felt very much like stepbrothers when they put their beds on top of each other and then they're just like, I have so much space for activities. Like, that is what my life felt like, and it was a glimpse into what minimalism could do for me. It was one less thing for me to have to clean and dust and keep track of. But the other big thing that I got rid of was we used to have like a bench at the end of our bed, and we used to have just chairs in the corner. I don't know why, but that's just something that we do in America, is we like to have extra chairs everywhere. So I got rid of the extra chairs. The chairs that I have now, this white one I'm sitting in right now, I actually share with my daughter. I decided to not get 2 chairs just because when and if we are both working at our desks at the same time, I just get a chair from our dining room table downstairs, and it works great. So thinking outside the box as a minimalist will really help you out. You don't need a chair for everything. You just need enough. So enoughism, that's right. All right, let's move on to the next thing. And it really reminds me of, I think there's like a meme, there's a video somewhere of this admiral who is talking probably to a college or a high school about like big things that helped him in life, and one of them was making his bed. And so making your bed for me is the very first thing I do when I wake up. I was never one to make my bed as a teenager, even though my mom wanted me to, but it actually just, it starts the flow of my day. And once you get used to making your bed, you just do it automatically. But in listening to his speech, which is a great speech, but in listening to it, it made me think, yes, I do believe we should make our bed every day. How hard do we need to make that? Do we need 17 pillows on our bed? Do we need 5 pillows on our bed? How many blankets do we need at the end of our bed? Like, how hard are we making this? Is the side table blocking you from being able to put your sheets on and your pillows? If it is, maybe it's a bad choice. Maybe it's not working for you. For me, I keep it extremely simple. You do not need to keep it as simple as I do, but I have a very hard time with pillows. So my husband and I just each have 1 now. We used to have 2 each, but I just realized that if each of us have, I think they're like king size pillows, that I can fold it over if I want another one, like if I want it to be doubled, to read. And then, I don't know, it's less pillowcases for me to have to deal with. It's just less of everything. And so I keep it very simple. So yes, less pillows, less blankets. Decide what you really need. If you're not actually using it, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't need decor just for decor's sake. Kind of something to think about, but you do you. All right, the next thing is excess hangers. So hangers are something that I used to have all different kinds, the plastic, the metal, the felt, whatever, the fuzzy ones. I got wooden ones. My grandma, I think at some point gave me some, and I really liked them. Some people don't like wooden ones. Doesn't really matter, but I do think it is very aesthetically pleasing when you have all of the same or all very similar. So it's not something you have to go out and do right now, but not having excess hangers means you're not bringing in excess clothes, and having them all the same is just very aesthetically pleasing. All right, guys, so now on to the next one, which is wall decor. And if you look in my room, it's probably way too stark for some of you guys, and that's fine. I think people get so hung up on minimalism means like white everything and whatever, but I don't even like white everything. I like natural woods, I like light colors, but I mean, it doesn't have to be anything. But like I said, in my bedroom, I don't like a lot of decor. One, I just don't like having to dust it and clean it. I don't even really, I have one plant in here, but that's basically it for decor. And the mirror, that was like a Walmart mirror that my husband ended up making the frame with wood, is basically all I have. And so it's when I come in here at nighttime and I'm ready for bed, there is nothing distracting me from what I need to do, which is to go to sleep. All right, so then we're almost done. Last one for your bedroom that you can think about getting rid of, or maybe getting something simpler, and that is your side table. So whatever side table you have, whether you have one or you don't, the things that are on your side table are very important, and they can be very distracting. So I used to have like one of those big side tables with all the drawers, and I had just tons and tons of stuff crammed in it. And I had a lamp and a bowl and everything you could think of. And thinking now, like, it was a slow process getting rid of that stuff because I used to think it was extremely important. But now it's like, I'll have a book, I'll have some chapstick. The wires for my phone are not connected to my side table, so I just kind of push them behind the bed when I get up, when I'm making the bed. And that's about all I need. I don't need anything else. If I don't have a lamp. We have like an overhead fan light in our room, but I don't have a lamp on my side table anymore just because I got tired of dusting it. But so I'll turn on my phone for the flashlight. I know some people need more light to read. That's fine, but for me, my side table is close enough to me when I read that I can see everything just fine. So try to think outside the box. If you're tired of certain things, try putting them in another room and seeing if you can live without them for a little while. All right, so that was our bedroom. Now we're gonna move on to the bathroom. All right, y'all, so if you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of things that you could declutter in your bathroom. And so the first thing that I would start decluttering is your beauty products. So whether it's like you have 20 nail polishes, you have a bunch of mascara or eyeshadow. I've gotten down now to where I just have one thing of eyeshadow that I wear if I have a special occasion. Sometimes I just wear it out if I feel like being fancy. But I don't need a lot. I just need one that I like, which I think is key. When it comes to like beauty products, you don't need to try everything. You just need one that works, and then use that one and then just buy it again. Stop trying. There is no miracle, whatever. I've realized that. I'm almost 35 now. There is no miracle for whatever it is that I'm going through on my face. Right, so next is hair accessories. I recently got rid of all those like big banana clips that I had in my bathroom because I just realized that I didn't use them except like, you know, every once in a while to wash my face, I'd put my hair up in them. And so it just wasn't worth it to me to keep them for that because I can just use a rubber band. So getting rid of excess stuff like that, hair brushes, if you have a ton of hair brushes, getting rid of that. And like, I don't even have a hair dryer. I actually have one of those like circular hair dryers, so that I actually got rid of my hair dryer, I got rid of my curler and my straightener, and now I just have this one tool. Now it doesn't super curl my hair, but my hair is already kind of curly wavy. So if I want to get really fancy for a wedding, there's usually always somebody there that could help me out. So I've never actually had a problem with not being able to get a hair curler if I want one. All right, so the next one is a hot topic, I'm sure, but it is getting rid of your bathroom decor. Now, one, I never thought that I could keep my bathroom decor clean enough because bathrooms are gross. But I used to have like a big wooden shelf that my husband had built me that was beautiful, and I'd put like tons of nicky-nacky things in it, like those little fake plants and little bowls and candles and all those things. But it was just one more thing for me to have to dust to keep up with. And sure, it did look pretty. But it was like this running thing in my brain. I know I've talked about this before in my videos, but it's like this checklist I make in my brain of now I have to go clean that, I have to dust it. And and it just became too much for me to have to deal with that in my bathroom. So like my bedroom, I keep my bathroom pretty minimal, almost nothing when it comes to decor. I just keep the essentials in there. I have one little sign over my sink, but that's it. Let's talk about the last two things that maybe you can get rid of in your bathroom. So the next thing is excess pillowcases, excess sheets. I don't have any flat sheets, but that's a personal choice. I just don't like them. I'm a wild sleeper and my daughter's a wild sleeper, so we end up getting all caught up in them and like strangling ourselves with flat sheets. And so if that's your problem, just get rid of them now. I used to keep one in case she wanted to build a fort. And I'm not saying that's something that's wrong, but we just also have lots of blankets, and we just end up using our blankets that are already on our beds for our forts. So that always works out fine. And for me, I have 2 sets of sheets for my bed, 2 sets for my daughter. For my daughter, I definitely like having 2. I know some people will just wash them that day, and I think that's awesome. But I haven't gotten quite down to that yet. So you kind of have to figure that out for yourself, what you feel comfortable doing. But for me, I don't need 2 sheets personally. I use the same one, I wash it, I put it back on the same day. But I'm not getting rid of it right now because I've noticed that the one that we use so often that I'm always washing and getting rid of has a hole in the corner. And so personally, I'm just waiting for that hole to get a little bit bigger, where it's, not manageable to deal with anymore. And then I'm gonna declutter it and just keep the newer one that we don't use really ever. And then the last thing for the bathroom is your travel stuff. So if you travel a lot, we don't even travel that often, but we do travel. So we have like travel shampoos, travel toothpaste, travel conditioner, travel soaps that you get from wherever you go. Personally, just don't take them with you unless you need them. But for me, I just tend to I might keep one if I know I'm gonna travel again soon. But really we just keep a travel toothpaste and we just use it up and then we get rid of it. The little containers, if you travel a lot, just keep 1 set of them. That's really all you probably need. And so if you have a bunch of extras, that's definitely something that you can declutter. All right, y'all, so let's move on to another hotspot area in your house, which is your living room. In my living room, I try to keep it very simple. I know some people don't necessarily like my living room. They think I don't have enough in it, but it works for me and it works for my family, and that's what matters. So draw an inspiration from it that you can and live your best life. But the first thing that I really decluttered was furniture. Furniture is by far the biggest problem I think most of our living rooms have. When you cannot easily vacuum your living room, or you can't sweep your living room, or you feel like you're always tripping over things, probably it's because you have too much furniture or your furniture's in the wrong place. Maybe it's in a high traffic area and it shouldn't be there. And so I got rid of all our side tables. I now just have a little coffee table that's for our feet, or sometimes we'll have little dinner picnics there. And then I have a long table that my husband built that goes behind our couch, that I use as partly like a drop zone if I have a bunch of groceries and I can't make it all the way to the kitchen. But it's one of those things that I do try to keep very clear just because it is a drop zone, and so it can easily get very cluttered. All right, the next thing that I got rid of that maybe you can too are lamps. And I had a lot of lamps in that room at first because we had no overhead lighting, but my husband, the genius he is, he did pot lights, and these pot lights are actually like run by Alexa. I probably just turned yours on, didn't I? But so she turns our lights on and off, so it wasn't very difficult. He had a tool to drill a hole through my ceiling, but the ceiling where it is in our living room also has a little attic on top of it, so he could easily get out there. So it just worked overall for us very easily. But now that I have overhead lights in there, all the lamps are gone because it was just another thing to dust and another thing to not break. And then the other thing, which I think is super important, and I have some other super important ones coming up, so keep watching. But the other thing is remotes. So if you have remotes to TVs that you no longer have anymore, if you have remotes that you don't know where they belong to, let those go. Let those go, because you're either never going to use that TV again anyway, or you're never going to find what they belong to anyway. And so you might as well be a little freer and get that off your list. The next thing is decor, which is by far something that I was the worst at. I had decor everywhere. If you walked into my house about 5 or 6 years ago, you would have laughed. I had this huge picture of a cow and all this like farmhouse decor because Hobby Lobby tells you to have it. And as much as I did like it then, and I don't even think it's bad now, it was way too much. It was like every wall had to have something, and if it didn't have something, I felt stressed out. Like blank walls were stressful to me, which is amazing how much your brain can change when you decide to live more simply. Finally, you'll look at blank walls and be like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than it was before. And it's so much less stressful, and you can walk into a room and really take a deep breath. I don't know why my flash just came on, but I'm probably a lot brighter now. Okay, so the next thing that you can get rid of in your living room are books. And I know this is a hot topic, and I've talked about this before, and I always get a little lashback. That's not the word. Anyway, you know what the word is. Put it in the comments below if you remember what that word is. Flashback. Anywho, if you love books and that's your thing, then maybe just think about decluttering the ones that you aren't gonna get to. Now, if you're like my mom, she likes have tons of books. She uses them as her resources, so at least she's using them. But like I like to tell her when we declutter her books is that you can only have so many projects, and think of a book as a project. If you have like 20 to 100 books you are going to read, your brain can't possibly think of that many activities to do when you're also like taking care of kids, going to work, cleaning the house. Like your brain can't keep up with that many projects. So focus on one, maybe 2 books that you could read. Put the other ones away if it stresses you out about getting rid of them, but put them out of sight and see if you actually think about going back to them. And if you don't, maybe you weren't going to anyway. So maybe it's time to let it go. All right, moving on to your drop zone. Mine is like when you walk in the door and our front closet, this is your drop zone. So the first thing that you can get rid of that will really clear up a lot of space in that area are your excess coats, jackets, raincoats, anything like that. They're big, they're bulky, they take up a lot of space. And how many coats do you really need? All right, the next thing that I have diligently been getting rid of over the past couple years is hats, coats, The next thing that I've been diligently getting rid of are hats and scarves and mittens and everything. I mean, it adds up. And so when you look in my drop zone in the closet, it's in one white box, and I have one hat for the 3 of us. My husband has a couple extra hats because he has like his sport hat and his golfy hat, but you know, that's not up to me. So he has more than one, but me and my daughter, we both have one hat because that's all we need. We only have one head. We each have, besides my husband, he doesn't have that, mittens. And then I actually got rid of my scarf recently because I just realized I didn't really like it that much. And so I might get a new one if it gets cold enough in Virginia, but if not, I'm not gonna worry about it. But that's really all I can think that we could possibly need. So the next thing, which is a big thing, is getting rid of storage that's not working. For the next week, really pay attention to where your family or you, if it's just you, puts things. So when you walk in the door, do you have a place that you can drop your keys or hang them up? Do you have a place to put your mail when you walk in, the stuff you have to keep? Do you have a place to put your bag and hang your coat up? You know, these are things that seem very simple, but they make your life so much easier when you have a zone, a place to put them. I like to call them homes. But when you don't, it is chaos. You can never find your keys. Believe me, years and years and years of never finding my keys, and finally I always know where they are. And believe me, a huge relief, especially since we only have one key to my car. If we lost it, it would be traumatic. And so finding storage that works and getting rid of all of the rest. If you have to try a few things, give yourself a break, try it for a little while. If it doesn't work, send it on to somebody else who's gonna love it and it's gonna work for them, but not everything is gonna work for everybody. We have hooks on the wall that I put like our dog leashes in my bags and my daughter bags. We have hooks inside of our closet for our coats. We have places to put our shoes. We each have a little basket, and we have a place to put our mail, and we have a little bowl to put everything else. So we have tons of little spaces, but they all have a purpose and we need them all. All right, the next thing is shoes. Get rid of those excess shoes. Put the shoes where you need them, which is near the door, and then don't spread them out all over your room. That was a big mistake I used to do. Unless they're just the shoes that maybe you're doing like a capsule wardrobe and they're the shoes you're not using right then. But keep them by the door, the ones that you need. Get rid of all the excess ones. Think about the ones that you actually use all the time, and if you don't use the other ones, like if they're super fancy shoes, most likely you don't need them. You can borrow them if you really have to, or in a pinch, you could go get another pair if you had to. But keep ones that are helpful in most situations, like tennis shoes and hiking shoes if you hike a lot, flip-flops, maybe one pair that's kind of fancy that you could wear to a wedding, but also ones that you just like wear on a date night. Like, think about different ways that you can use them and get rid of the excess, because they really take up a lot of space and they start to smell. All right, and the last thing that you shouldn't keep in that drop zone is things that don't need to be there. So we used to keep like a bunch of excess stuff in there as well, and it would fill up and become kind of crazy. So if you are, let's say, you have a lot of like sporting equipment, but those sports you probably don't do all the time. Like if it's tennis stuff, you probably don't go play tennis every day. So those things don't need to be in your drop zone. Your drop zone needs to be for like critical pieces that you need almost every day. Okay, so if you exercise every day, maybe put that like on a shelf at the top so that it's easy access. But if you don't play tennis every day, if you don't go play pickleball, which I'm trying to get into every day, then don't leave that there, because it's just going to take up way too much space and it's just going to be kind of annoying. All right, you guys are champs. We're almost done, and I have some really important ones to come. But if you're enjoying this, remember to hit that like button and subscribe for the next video. So the next thing is dishes. So my wonderful grandmother, who I love dearly, gave me her fancy schmancy dishes, and while I loved them and had great memories with them and very sentimental to me, I did not ever use them. So they were sitting in my attic for about 2 years, gathering dust, and I never used them ever. And so finally I got them out of the attic, and I was just like, why am I hanging on to these? They're not my style. I don't have a bunch of fancy dinners. Now, if you do, then maybe you need to put them somewhere where you can find them. I can never find mine anyway because they're up in the attic. But I just didn't need them. And so I ended up asking my sister, and she really wanted them. And while they were super sentimental to me, I'm glad they went to somebody who wanted them and who's gonna use them, which she does. All right, then the next thing is extra pots and pans. You don't need more than you need when it comes to those kind of things. If you are a master cook, I'm sure you need more than me, but for me, I have one set and it is plenty. I don't even think I have a full set, but I have enough for what we need. It's me and my daughter and my husband. My brother lives here too, but usually he doesn't eat with us. So for 3 people, we have plenty. Not a great cook. There you go, it's set. Okay, so then the other thing is Tupperware, which I used to like keep all of the little containers when you get like tuna fish sometimes if it's already made, or food that's like pre-packaged, and sometimes it'll come in the nice Tupperware, and I'm not saying don't keep those, but you don't need all of them. You probably just need like one, and maybe not even that. So some of it away, like I like to talk about in other videos, put it away in a closet, see if you go and find it if you need it. And if you don't, let it go. It's Tupperware. You're gonna be good, guys. I promise. All right, y'all, we're almost done. So next 2 are important. The next one is cleaning supplies. And what I like to use now is I have like one glass bottle. I got it from Target. Actually doesn't work that well. I don't recommend it. But it works good enough. And I pour this like mix that I'm gonna show you. I pour this mix into it, mix it with water. It's like a multi-purpose cleaner, does great. Then I have these rags that my mother-in-law gave me. I think she did get them from Target, but they are for windows. So really I don't even need Windex anymore. You just get the rag a little wet, you wipe it on the window. It works amazing. I might even link it below because they work really well, and then you don't need all these excess products. And really just some like lemon and water or Clorox and water work amazingly well. We don't need to get super complicated and get the like name brand stuff. Pretty simple things out there work pretty well, and they've been working for 100 years or more. All right, and the last thing is dish rags. Dish rags is something that I think I go up and down with. Right now our dishwasher is broken, and so I am grateful that I have some. I actually just got 2 more of the drying rags, the bigger ones, because I need them because we only have 1, and so I need a little bit more than that. But I like rags to clean the dishes just because it's something that you can throw in the washing machine and actually wash them, where sponges, I feel like those are just gross and you can't really ever get them clean. But you don't need so many. So, going through, getting rid of the ones that are festive, or maybe just keeping 1 set of your favorite that are festive, but having some that are universal will really help you out. All right, guys, I am so happy that you made it, and I'm so happy that you're here. I know that was a whirlwind and probably a pretty long video, but these are things that around my house I've either decluttered, gotten rid of completely, and it has simplified my life. And I know it can do the same thing for you. So if you like this, remember to hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna see you again next week.